It was about 9 years ago that a certain small game was released. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like an RPG where you like fight dragons, you use magic, you venture to a bunch of dungeons, and you like kill a bunch of bad guys and stuff like that. Skyrim, baby. You know what it is. And if you don't, you're either too young to be watching this video, or how did you find it? Like, I'm a YouTuber with like 600 subscribers, and if this is the first video you watch over Skyrim, over all the others, what? Also, I'm flattered. Recently, it has come to my attention that out of any topic, Skyrim is the obvious one that has kind of taken over my channel. But when going through that catalog of my videos, I realized I never sat down and did a comprehensive review over the game. And I think the main reason I didn't, and the reason it didn't come up to my mind, was because everyone already knows everything about this game. It's Skyrim after all. You, chosen one. Big world, big muscles, magic powers, defend world, kill Heimskr. So what I decided to do was to sit down and to do a comprehensive overview over Skyrim and write down my actual feelings about the game. But I decided to do it in a different way, because I'm positive that you guys at least know the basics about Skyrim and basic overview of the story. So I'm going to do us all the biggest favor and skip the whole story overview and simple stuff. I'm not IGN. Thank God I'm not. We all know the basic story. If Alduin didn't attack Helgen and didn't blow his load already, then he would have won. Seriously, think about that. Instead of the common stuff, let's talk about why I honestly believe this game has lasted so long, and what it does that keeps people coming back to a game that has seemingly beat the test of time. Like Jennifer Aniston. How old is she? You can glitch up hills. Game's good, 10 out of 10 review over. Okay, sorry, I couldn't resist. But yeah, this game is good. But you've heard that before plenty of times. And what is it that brings me personally back to this game? Well, let's make it short and simple real quick. The world of Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls as a whole is a huge reason why I come back. Now, just like in most RPGs, you are the chosen one. And as the chosen one, it's your job to be the collector of all the cheeses. And yes, I mean all of them. Oh, and to save the world or something, I don't know, something like that. Boy, oh howdy does the universe of the Elder Scrolls captivate me. And it's the land itself of Skyrim that tells the stories of this world. Everything from destroyed house to a dead body in a sleeping bag with a notebook telling of who this dead person is. The world of Skyrim is so unbelievably large and crafted with such care put into it. It's truly something unique in the gaming world. When wandering in the woods, I keep my eyes open for something in the distance that I can venture towards maybe. And there's always something. There always seems to be that one thing that I had never seen before every time I play through it. When venturing in the land of Skyrim, it is important to learn the culture of its vast world. In this handy-dandy guide, I will show you the essentials of survival in this frivolous land. As you do your adventuring, you may encounter some of the friendly folks of the land. Simply walk up and start a friendly conversation. Well, he might have been having a bad day, but this is a land of war, after all. Most people are on it. Be sure you can relieve as much stress in this land by lending helpful aid to the people. While helping the common folk, you will encounter a large number of wildlife that want nothing more than to carve into your human flesh, or elven flesh, or orcish flesh. There's a lot of flesh. And some of the people you encounter may want nothing more than to take your belongings you so hardly fought for. But this is self-defense, so get that swinging arm ready. We must not forget the crafting. Yes, that is correct. There is a wide assortment of craftable goods you must learn in order to survive this land. Are you dirt-hungry heathen? Well, venture towards the mines then. Are you more of a nature-loving hippie? Then why not partake in the many fauna that grows in this frozen land? Perhaps food and the delicate arts are more your taste. Then collect the flesh of the innocent animals you kill and cook them into a nice meal. If you don't understand, I'm rattling off the crap that I really love in this game in a comedic manner to keep the video entertaining and to make it somewhat cohesive. Now, there are many factions in this world, all of which are very interesting, full of fun characters. There are the doggy dudes, the Midnight Society, the thieving the musical pansies, Twilight lovers, and yes, even Twilight haters, and the College of Winterhold. Don't get me wrong, the College of Winterhold is okay, but compared to the others, it's just not as good. If you go through the cut content in the game, there's actually an unbelievably large amount of cut content for the College of Winterhold storyline. That shows that there are things in this game that have been cut for time. But with mods, you can bring them back, showing how much bigger this world was even supposed to be. The College of Winterhold might be all around disappointing, but it does have some of the best characters in the entire game, like Jazargo here. I love him so much. But other than the faction quests, just the miscellaneous side quests in the game are even so entertaining that I play them every time I turn on the game. But I do feel like I have to address this guy here. We all know him. Now early on you will encounter this man. He is widely known as the beginning bastard. He basically forces new players who want to breeze through the game to realize that they aren't ready to get this far yet, and they need to partake in some of the faction quests I mentioned earlier. There seems to always be something to discover, like I had mentioned earlier. Even on my 1265th playthrough, there's always something there. But I'm gonna get sentimental for a second. It's the world of Skyrim that brings me back every time. That also includes the bonds and the characters that I've fallen in love with over the years. Next, I would like to talk about the combat, which I love actually. However, there is one downside, but I'll get to that in a second. But related to the combat, I freaking love the leveling system in this game. The whole idea around leveling up things you work on really makes it feel like you earn the skills you end up gaining. But when a battle starts, I think my favorite part is analyzing what the enemy has, which weapons they're using, and what enemies I need to really worry about. It makes my brain work. I will admit that when you get a high level, something starts to creep in. It's how easy some of the enemies get, and it makes you feel like you've earned the status of top cheese collector. I mean, it's satisfying as beanies to me. The mixture of combat styles and potion enhancement drugs and shouts gives a player a lot of great options. I always do a new build in every playthrough, and I always feel like I can try something new. Stealth, different magic types, different close quarters. It all feels amazing to use. And the design of a lot of the dungeons lends itself well to each playstyle. It's actually pretty impressive if you sit back and admire it. Now it's time to talk about the downside of it. The AI. We all know the AI in Skyrim is buggy as hell. There are memes around it, but well, we've all seen the memes everywhere about shooting a bandit directly in the face and then him simply saying, "Must have been the wind." That's because the AI doesn't know what to do when your stealth is so high. You just duck and you go invisible for a few seconds and he just walks away with the arrow stuck in his head. But at the end of the day, I enjoy the combat quite a lot. Now there is another huge part of Skyrim that I already made a full video over. Mods. Mods here, mods there, there's magic in the air. There's titties in the air. Now the community has taken it upon themselves to keep this game going with fan-made content. So if you want to know my opinion on mods, go check out the video I made about them. It's completely about how mods improved this game so much. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and mention the music. Behind my big bombing bear, the music. We all know this soundtrack is literally legendary. From the end's peaceful melodies to the sounds of an eerie dungeon where you hear skeletons in the background riding about. This is an aspect of Skyrim I cannot overlook. It is hands down one of the biggest reasons I always come back. Sounds and music on top of it all, it just lends itself so well to the world building. Look at the views on YouTube of just the ambient noises. This music is iconic. And we get the privilege of listening to the same 20 voice actors voice over 100 characters. Alright, time to get sentimental at the end of the video. Playing Skyrim always has a warmth for me. It brings me back to when I was 13 playing it on my PS3. It's like an old friend. I can always go back to it and play it no matter what. Even so many years later. Hell, when I started playing this game I was in junior high and now I'm married with a daughter and I still play it and still enjoy it just as much now as I did when I was 13. And I find myself playing it every year between that. From 13 to 22, I play it every year. And that's incredible. It really is. That a game that doesn't have an online feature, does not have any updates, doesn't have any new DLCs coming out for it. It just keeps you hooked, even 9 years later. So if I had to do an overall score, I'd probably give it a Heimsker out of Nazim. I don't do scores. Those are my thoughts on Skyrim. It's an important game to me. It really is. It's one of my favorite of all time. It means a lot. And I just had to get it out there and explain how I feel about it for my channel, because my channel is, by all and large, a Skyrim related channel at this point. And I just needed a video to talk about how I feel about the game in general. And I love it. Anyways, more videos coming soon. Skyrim related, some not Skyrim related, but, you know, good mix. Thanks for watching though. You guys have been very supportive. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks. See ya.